about Memphis.
No, I don't think anybody's saying anything about Memphis at all. I guess because it's in the southern state and everything, it's not being broadcast like it is up in L.A. and Chicago and Portland and New York and Washington D.C. And man, it's a whew, it is man, unbeknownst that we got this shit going on here in our country, and we got a nut sitting up there in the White House that has no idea what the hell he's doing, and he's creating havoc and stuff in these cities and stuff, and trying to justify bringing federalized troops and stuff into these cities and stuff and everything, and creating havoc. And man, and I understand a lot of times what the news people are trying to say and everything. Well, and it looks like these people are really actually getting ugly and stuff with it. But they're getting ugly because these people are coming in there and intimidating them. And I don't think anybody is articulating that and stuff to the public, that you have a that the people in those states and the cities and whatever and stuff, they have a right to protest the illegal actions going on inside their cities.
Well,
And
eh, the one thing that, and I've been watching a lot of it, and the one thing that I look at, and I guess, you know, people will, when, undocumented people, they came here and they've been working. They're not trying to be Americans, but they have established themselves and planted their foot in America. And the one thing that I see is, to me, this is just my own opinion. I might be wrong on this, but I think that, and so-called white folk believe that there's too many Latino people here, and they want them out of here. Now you have a lot of the Latinos that have been here their whole life. They're legal. They're Americans. They went through the process. I remember far back as in the '90s. That was a big business maker. Immigration and how to become an American and blah 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 blah. And to me, I mean, I think this is about. This is you and I think I've said this before, so I'm probably repeating myself. I think America, we are a melting pot, but what I think what these higher ups, these designers of geographic uh, ethnic groups, they want a certain amount of people in this country so that they can control where they are, what they're doing, all of that. And the Latinos are spreading out because see, they're not a monolithic people, just like black folks. Now Asians are a little different. You got some upper class Asians that are very educated and what have you, and they sort of kind of spreading out a little bit. But Latinos, I mean, I don't know the whole. We don't know all the cultures of all of these different uh, Latin people coming from other countries. We don't know all their culture. We know a little bit about some of their culture, but a lot of them, and then they come in different classes, education, all of that. So the bottom line is that I mean I just really believe that. that what they decided they wanted to say, we got to get a lot of these people out of here. And I think that's what it's all about. And they want them to keep them out. And then we said we got enough Latin people. That's just my personal opinion, I think. And we have to weather this storm. And I don't know how we're going to weather it because you have these, uh, and I don't know no other way to put it, and I don't like to compare it to slave catchers, but you have these people that have no heart. They don't care. They racist, they prejudiced, they just doing it for the money, and they don't care, and that's why they got all of these people to do that. So right now we got to go through the storm, but a lot of people that are trying to stop this stuff, they're not gonna win, bro, because the man is in the White House. He's going to New Orleans pretty soon, and he going in California, New Orleans, New York, all of those places. He's going all over these major cities. Did you see what the governor of Illinois said? Told the governor of Texas, stop your people from coming here. And he's and the governor said, we're sending our we're sending them because the president requested it. And then he said, if you don't like, get your state right. In so many words, I'm just paraphrasing. So this is where we at now. We just right there, bro. So this right here is gonna be going on for another 3-4 months, if not longer. So
Well,
and nothing we can do about it.
I uh, I don't know if this country is going to be able to withstand what's going on now for 3 or 4 more months. I don't. I don't. Something is going to break, and something is going to happen. I mean, absolutely devastating. That's going to happen. Because I don't believe it's going to continue and stuff like this because there are a lot of people and stuff there who are very upset and everything about what's going on here.
These people are being
And
devastated, man. Taking them on, disappearing. I was thinking about this this morning when Elon Musk had his Doge people, so-called Doge people, come in and steal and take and record or all the data of the American people. And all we did was just stand by and let them do it. That's all we did. We just stood there and let him take all the data. They went in Social Security. They went into the RS. They went into different parts of different departments and got all kind of data. And all our data has been taken. Medical records, financial records. And we just sat there and let them take it. Our personal information.
we couldn't stop them. We couldn't even get the judicial system to stop them. Every time somebody
That's
filed a
what that's
lawsuit against them, the justice system said, "Well, okay, we're going to hold off and find out exactly what they're doing." And then go to another damn judge and stuff, and he's saying, "Oh, they can go ahead and take what they want to take." And
this
so,
this is what I'm saying. This is where we at. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when people when these judges and the Supreme Court allow this kind of stuff to the American people, and the American people is like, oh, they just shake it off. Well, they know everything we do. No, it's now not only the government got all your information, but now corporate got all your information. And you got roads that's out there, they can sell that stuff to different people and make money off of that. So this is what's puzzling me. There is no uproar of what they did at Doge. To me, that right there was it. I say this is over. We over. We're done. We're done. Because anytime they get your personal information, and we already know that they track us with the phones, they track us as we and I can understand you should have some type of sensibility as far as you know finding out. I appreciate the videos everywhere you go. You cross a light and they videotaping you. You go into the bank, they videotaping you. You go into a store, they videotaping you. You can be walking down some street and they videotaping you. We talked about that with China. China, that's what they do all over the place. They got videotapes and everything. They know they can track anybody, anything down. So this is where we are right now. And what do we do about it? The point is, a lot of times, because you have so many nefarious people, crime people. But it's a funny thing. I ain't heard nothing about these. Now we done had about 3 or 4 diamond heists. We done had a couple of security heists, money taken, and all that. Break-ins on major facilities, and we just play it off. The American people just play it off. Oh, that's what they do. They just break into this and do that. Ain't nobody being caught. And then and one time I think they broke into this diamond store and they said, well, they caught 2 people. Well, I ain't heard nothing else about it. This was a major diamond heist, and they said they caught 2 people. How come there was no press release on this guy? How come his face wasn't on the news? They caught 2 people. Who they were? Where they from? This is what's going on, bro. And I tell you, a lot of this stuff is pretty much, is like if you don't, it's almost like gangster time. If you got a company and you ain't paying your dues, we coming for you. We just allow it to happen.
Well, we're going to have to learn how to exist here in this environment. You're going to have to learn how to exist in this environment. And you bring all these things and stuff up, but what happened and stuff in the past and stuff, we had free press, people who were honest, people who wanted to go out there and did investigative reporting. We don't have that and stuff today. All these oligarchs are buying up the news people, and folks aren't doing investigative work anymore. They aren't going out there and picking up all this information that is sitting out there. They're not doing it. Being told exactly what they can put on the air and what they can't put on the air. And what they're putting on the air and stuff right now is everything they have to do with DJT. That's it. If you look at our news, what's coming out on these news folks, man, has dominated, man, our news cycle and everything, man, since 2016. It's getting worse.
Well, I mean, it's not my only concern, and I'm concerned about all Americans. However, think about this, Ed. I'm just, I'm sort of kind of like in a woo 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 land. Think about this. Now, over the years, And I've been saying this for years. And I sent you some information about this lady, Catherine DeFitt, or whatever her last name is. And she's claiming that $26 trillion was stolen from the American people. And she's going all around. She was on Hunter's a couple of days ago, Karen Hunter's show. And I've been talking about this for years, because I used to pretty much track the budgets of the government and all of this money, and then they overcharge. And I say, this money is going somewhere. Somebody is laundering money. There is, and she said this exactly, anywhere between 500 up to $1 trillion a year has been laundered in this country.
I can believe that.
500 billion to $1 trillion every year.
I can believe that.
So now here's the thing though, that gets me is that for some reason there are forces that are and well, I don't know the reason, but whatever the reason is, um, the one thing that really upsets me is that when you are working stiff like myself, like you worked a few years and retired. I worked a few years and retired, and working stiff. You just working, and you try to keep up with little stuff here and there, and read things and what have you, and keep up. But the point is, you're trying to feed your family. You're trying to keep a roof over your head. You're trying to make sure your kids are doing okay. So you don't really have. So you put your trust in, to a certain degree, in our representatives or the government, thinking that, okay, they're going to make sure everything is going to be all right. But then you look at certain things and you read certain articles. Well, why is that happening over there and it's not happening over here? It was designed to keep, as a whole, black folks in where they are. Not because black folks don't have the ability and the learning ability to do this, but they designed it that way to make sure that we are the last on the totem pole, no matter whoever comes in here in this country. They designed it that way. Most of us, and I'm not going to say myself included, live, live around black people. Now myself, I've always try to live in the best neighborhood I can live in the most nicest, the most quietest neighborhood, and what have you. So therefore, it wasn't a black neighborhood. It wasn't nothing that I don't mind living around black folks. But the point is, I want to live in the best neighborhood, quietest enough school, and the best schools to send my kids to. Because there's bad schools in white neighborhoods too. So that was my goal in life. So, because when I lived in LA, I lived in Culver City. They had one of the best school systems going, but I had to pay extra to live there. But I could have went right down the street and lived in Inglewood. I could have lived in the Dorsey area. I could have lived in Compton. I could have lived in Watts. I could have lived in Inglewood. I could have lived in all kinds of little places. But I looked at the school system and said, hey, Culver City is one of the best we got. And we did that before we even moved there. We looked into different places, and this is what we wanted to do to put our kids through. And they did very well there. Came here, the same thing. You have to pay, and that is designed that way because the way the system is grown, and they make sure that they under fund the black neighborhood school systems. They underfund and don't invest in the black community. That's why I always holler taxation without representation. There is no excuse and no laughing matter that they do not invest. And when I say they, I'm talking about the government and the corporations. Well, we came from one of the poorest areas in the country, bro. How many people came and invested in our city, in our little town? Nobody. Nobody. But you had one city on here doing very well, another city on the other side doing very well. And not that we were doing all that bad, at least we didn't know we was doing that bad. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we did, it was okay for me. But what I'm saying is that it's designed that way. It's designed that way. And we sit back and like you say, you made the statement earlier. Well, you got to figure out to navigate and use your intelligence to how to navigate and try to get through this. And we tried to by protesting, marching, all of that. But when the banks, this is the reason why I'm talking about all of this. When the banks do not allow you to have businesses and flow, and like they do in these other neighborhoods, and flow and open up businesses. Man, I can't tell you the area I'm in right now have grown 10 times in the last 30 years. I mean, there are so many businesses, so many franchises, so many apartment complexes, home developments, all of that. And let me tell you, it's only about maybe 15%, not even 15% of black folks live in this almost a half a million people that are black. So I'm just saying, it's designed that way. You go to Tampa, the same thing. You got Tampa, you got almost 30, you got 27% of black folks in Tampa that are black. You got a higher percentage of Latinos in Tampa. So I'm saying it's designed that way for black people. This is what they do. And the thing is that somehow they have decided they're going to keep us, and when I say us, I'm talking about black people, down. They have designed it that way to not allow uh, black people to move up. To yeah, a lot of us get our education, and then what? The first thing we do, we move out of town. A lot of people here in Tampa that go here and go to school, they finish school, they get a college degree, and they go somewhere else because there's no opportunity in Tampa for black people. There's no opportunity here for black people, especially if you don't have a college degree. And we knew the same thing was like for most people in Kankakee. This ain't no excuse. It's designed, bro. It's designed. And when I look at some of these people that open up these businesses, they go to the bank. I used to be a banker, bro. I saw it. The difference. How they would just shoot these people loans out left and right. I had no problem getting no approval. Business loans, personal loans. It's designed that way. And so I don't know. To me, here, this is the thing. There are so many black multimillionaires right now because of sports and entertainment, and they got sitting up there with their 200 million, $300 million, and all that's wonderful and for them. But one thing I can say for these other ethnic groups, they give back to their community. I ain't talking about no pennies, nickels, and dimes. This ain't no knock on them because they came up the hard way just like the rest of us, but they was gifted and had opportunity. But one thing I know for sure is that if you look at the history of these Irish, Italians, and you look at other ethnic group people, they look out for their people. Now we're 50 million strong here, and we know where most of all the black folks are. However, the point is that when you allowed 5, 6, 7 decades of allowing over 2 to 3 million black people in jail or in prison, and now we find out 50% of these people are being exonerated because it was false accusations or false arrests and all that stuff. This made up stuff arresting black folks like crazy. It was designed, bro. That's why they call it systemic racism. And how did we get it? How we've been fighting it our whole life. I mean, our ancestors and everything else. So it's not like black folks don't know what's going on. They just don't know what the hell to do, bro. Because they try to live the American way to, get a job, stay out of trouble, want to start a business, can't get no damn loan from the banks to start, what have you. I told you, man, I used to work for a manufacturing company, man, and every 2 weeks, that dude would get a 50,000, 100,000, $200,000 loan with no questions asked. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. It's the system.
I've been listening to you, man, for about 12, 13, almost 15 minutes. I didn't have those problems. I really didn't. I'm thinking about this, all this. The man didn't let me do, he didn't give me this, he didn't give me that. I didn't give a shit about what he didn't want to give me. I went and got it myself. I figured out a way how to get it. I bought homes, numerous homes. I went to the man and got that money. And if I couldn't find out one way, I found out another way. I remember Ronald Reagan shut down the Savings and Loan Association. It was a long time ago. A lot of your folks out there who are watching us don't know about this. I remember it happened. I bought more homes from the Savings and Loan folks. It went belly up. I bought 2 homes and stuff and everything during that period of time. I went and found a way to get the money to do it. I did. I
But
went and
Ed,
found a way. I went and found
Ed,
a way to get it done.
Ed, I
After it
appreciate.
was after it was all over, I'll let you talk for 15 minutes, please.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I
I
didn't
done
say a
heard this
word.
story a
I
hundred
didn't say a
times. Go
word.
ahead,
I didn't say a word. I just waited.
go ahead.
Okay. All during my time and stuff, but I'm telling you, I did not have a problem getting money from the white folks. I bought cars. I did everything. I went, found that, hey man, I called my buddy up who was sitting down there at the bank and everything. Hey man, I need $30,000 to buy a car. He said, "Yeah, when you want your money." I went, got the money, paid my cars off. Bought another car. I bought this car. I bought this. I bought houses. I did everything I wanted to do. Everything. I ain't never had no problem with them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. but I never had that problem. I really
It,
didn't. I can't remember it any time in my life. Even now, during this period of time and stuff and everything, I sat down there, I called people up, I fill out my paperwork and everything, and within 6 days, man, I had them wrote me a check for $100,000. Never had a problem. I did my daughter the same way. Hey, Daddy, what should I do? Okay, she bought 3 homes since then. I just told her what she had to do, and then she did it, and that's how she got it. She got what she had to get because of that. I have my other daughter. I told the same thing. Hey, baby, Daddy, what I need to do. I say, get what you got to do. Next thing you know, she done bought her a home. So we don't have that. I haven't had that problem here that you were talking about,
well,
where
Ed,
they won't give
I
it
hear
to you.
what you're saying, and this is no knock on you or anybody into your thing. A home is one of the easiest things you can get. A car is the only one of the easiest
But
things
that's
you can
all I
get.
wanted. That's
But
all I
wait a
wanted. I
minute,
didn't want no business.
that's not what
I did
I'm
not want
alluding
no
to.
business. I didn't want
Ed,
it.
what I'm saying is, how many black neighborhoods you lived in?
Probably two in my
Thank you,
lifetime. I lived in 2 black neighborhoods my whole
thank you,
lifetime.
thank you.
Mhm.
Now, this is what I'm saying, Ed. Like I just told you, I told you my story. I didn't live around black folks. I'm a loner, so therefore, I don't even go to the barber shop. I don't go to the clubs. I don't go to whatever. But what I'm saying is, in the black neighborhood, like I was saying, if black folks, I can go to about 4 or 5 right now, black neighborhoods. You go through there, you don't see no stores, you don't see no businesses,
And there's a reason why that is. And that's why I didn't go and live in the neighborhood.
because it's
There's a reason.
designed that way, bro.
There's a reason why I didn't do that. And it wasn't and it wasn't because even if it was planned or whatever, and people would they I don't believe in blaming the white man or whoever it is for the situation and stuff that's in my community. I don't blame him for that. I blame us for that. I blame my people. I have to tell them, look in the mirror because you don't have to live like this.
Ed, Ed,
Don't.
Ed, 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 Ed. We as individuals can succeed. I'm not talking about individuality. It's easy to be a millionaire. It's easy to, all you gotta do is put your head down and make money and save your money, invest your money, buy a house, da 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 da. That's not the thing I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, collective. That's all I'm talking about, collectively. And the people, and I just told you that you go into Italian neighborhoods, you go into the Asian neighborhoods, the Irish neighborhoods, and on and on. They reach back. Now you and I, we don't make that kind of money to reach back to people, but we did reach back into our community to help people. What I mean by that is we went and like myself, the only thing I know how to help people with is the kids and work with them in basketball. You did the same thing in football. And you try to get them in college. I got quite a few kids in school and what have you. But what I'm saying is that's what I gave, and I'm a small time fry. But you got people that's making multi-million-dollar money that they can invest and give back to the community.
And I wouldn't, and I believe the same thing they believe. I'm not giving them people nothing. I'm not giving them anything. I wouldn't give them the sweat off my ball. That's how I feel about it. I'm serious. That's how I feel about it. I would not do that. I don't care. He created that daggone problem myself because when I was staying in that daggone community, in the black community, I couldn't get nothing done because they was always looking at me and stuff and everything and saying, "Man, you got this, you got that. Why can't you give me this?" I'm not going to give you nothing. You got to go out there and earn it yourself. We are the type of folks and stuff that will pull each other and stuff back down into the daggone bucket and stuff and everything, and will not allow our people and stuff and everything to survive. That's why most of us left out of the black community in the first place because people were sitting there pulling us back in, or they begging you for what the heck you got. You done went out there and earned and stuff and everything, and they won't get off of their butt and earn a damn thing, or they won't send their kids and stuff, or profess to send their kids to a daggone school system and stuff that will train them and stuff into what they need to be done. They will not do it. Our school systems and stuff and everything is screwed up because of us. And I know it, and you know, and everybody else knows it and everything because our people will not get off of their butt and everything to make sure our children are educated or sacrificing everything to make sure that they are educated and that they're out there and that they have the morals and everything to get out there and do what they got to do. The only thing that they're concerned about and everything is that, oh, when they go before the justice system or whatever, you're going to sit down there, please don't lock my child up. But what the hell did you do and everything to keep your child being locked up? He's sitting out there in the daggone streets and everything in gangs and stuff. And you didn't stop him. You sat down there and let that happen. You didn't go the extra mile and make sure that your child was educated. You did not get off of your butt and everything because you wanted to go out there and everything and play and do what the heck you wanted to do because you wanted to be a pimp or you wanted to be a ladies' man or whatever that's going on in our community. That's what's happening. Or you easiest way out of this whole daggone thing. Well, the white man didn't leave me nothing but to sell drugs. He left you. He ain't got to leave you anything to sell drugs and stuff and everything. You get off your butt and do things because there's power in that daggone community, and we are not using it. You're allowing these daggone gang members and all these other people, all the illicit folks to come up in your daggone community. In the community that we lived in, we was kids and stuff. Hell, there were more whorehouses and stuff out there, Pembroke than anything, a business. That's what we allowed to happen. We looked up to that. Right within a mile and stuff, there are four whole houses out there. That's all they consist of. That we might have here. So or taverns and stuff sitting out there. When a white man came to when election time and came on, he walked out there and everything, opened the bar up and said, "Hey, everybody in here, I'm buying drink for everybody for one day." And they stood up there and went to there gonna pose and voted for that son of a gun and didn't see him no more till the next 4 years. I'm supposed to be proud of that? No,
Well, I
that's
feel
my
you.
point.
Ed,
I'm
I feel
sitting there
you.
looking at a whole daggone town where we just came from up there in Kankakee, Illinois. They tore that whole daggone town apart. Black folks sit down there and everything and let this crap happen to them. And nobody say anything because they were fighting against each other. We had stuff going on out there in St. Anne and stuff where we lived at and everything. And them Negroes went out there and as soon as somebody got anything, they would fight them like crazy. Your father-in-law and stuff, I have to praise him every day. Gonna time I think about his name and stuff and everything. He tried his best to do what he had to do. But them people drug him down into the dirt whenever they had a chance to. He went out there and had a baseball team and stuff trying to get these children off the daggone street and do something for him. And they drug him down and stuff and everything and treated him like all get out. They had Mr. Smith sitting out there, the superintendent of the daggone school. They dogged him out and stuff until the day he died. The man was trying to educate the children out there and everything, and we fought him like all get out. We need a high school out here. The kids weren't getting educated and stuff in the regular schools and stuff and everything, and he sent them our children and stuff to St. Anne. And most of the kids and stuff that come out of St. Anne and stuff and everything, they prospered because they got used to the daggone. He put them in an environment around the white folks and everything to let them see what they can have if they get out there and they work hard. They fought him like hell. Put that daggone high school out there. It would have devastated that daggone community if you had done it.
Well, let me ask you this. And you can say the same thing for the south side of Chicago, west
Yes,
side of
sir. I can. My parents moved me out of South Side Chicago because it got too dangerous out there. Because I couldn't even walk down the daggone street. And I can sit up there in my daggone living room and stuff and look down both ends of the daggone street, and there's towers on each daggone corner. And every Friday and Saturday night and everything, we turn the TV off and everything because it's more interesting to watch those Negroes sit down there, get drunk, and beat each other up. That's all they wanted to do. They get their checks and stuff on Friday and stuff. Sunday they were broke. You have a diamond in their pocket because they went out there and they popped it up and potted it all up. And then come Monday and stuff, they ain't got enough gas money to get the daggone work and everything. Man, can you loan me $20 so I can put some gas in my car? What did you do with your money? You went out there and you popped it up and everything. You had to know that you had to hold money over and stuff to put gas in your daggone car. Parents said, we got to get the hell out of here. He took us out there to Pembroke. I dreaded it and stuff. Man, I wanted to stay in Chicago. And shoot, you
I
can't.
cried like a baby when I
I
moved
cried like a
from
baby. I
here.
did too for a whole goddamn month. Took me out of Chicago, all the bright lights and stuff out there. I've got to go out there where it's dark and everything. But that's me. I praise my father and stuff for making in that move and stuff now because if he hadn't done that thing, I might have been in jail.
Yeah, that's right. But and I think about all that stuff you're saying. I feel you, okay? And you're right. There's no question about it. And and no, there is no excuses for
Ted,
bad
I,
behavior.
I, I and I look at our folks and stuff and everything, and I remember I finished school, man. I got out, went back out there to Pembroke and stuff, man, to try to help my people and stuff out there. And I'm sitting there looking at these folks and stuff and everything, dogging each other out. I couldn't believe it. We come out here to help and everything, to do what got to be done. And at each turn, man, somebody was beating us over the daggone head.
Yep.
Beat us over the head. I sat
Yeah.
down there and they had a youth organization out there in Pembroke, and they was sitting out there and stuff, and the white man was giving them $3,000 or $4,000 from the community chest to for their youth organization stuff out there. And everybody else in the white neighborhood was getting all kinds of money. Well, I come out there and see what's going on. I went down and said, why y'all letting these people get away with this stuff? Well, yeah, that's all they gonna give us. I sat down, I called up the head man, the head director of the whole daggone thing. I said, I'm in the president of the Pivot Youth Organization. I want a meeting and stuff with your community chess board up there and everything as soon as possible. They gave me a daggone meeting. I sat there in front of them. I told them, I said, hey, you guys are getting money from every daggone business around here. You are going up there to General Foods, Google Batteries, all them places up there and everything, and taking money from black people and stuff, and then you putting it in your daggone pockets and stuff and everything, and you giving it to all these daggone white groups out there. We want some money out there in Pembroke. I walked out of there with 30 some $1,000. They can only get five. Couldn't stop me. I said, if you don't give us a daggone money and stuff and everything, I'm going to each one of these daggone these daggone businesses and stuff out here and tell every daggone black person and stuff standing there, they're going to stand out there and say, the Community Chest United Fund is not giving your money and stuff to the people who need it and stuff who out there in Pembroke and in Otto. And let's stop this. And that white man was scared. He said, I can't, we can't have black men sitting down there doing that, upsetting our apple cart. Okay, fine. He gave us that daggone money. Then we took our kids and stuff, put them on buses and stuff and everything, and carried them to wherever they needed to go. I ain't gonna let this person take anything from me. I'm gonna go get it my daggone self. That's what the people out there should have been done a long time ago. Stood up for themselves. Figure out how to get this money and stuff from them. Because they ain't gonna just give it to you. If you keep letting them do it, they're gonna keep on doing it to you. Figure out a way how to get it.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be going through this.
no. What you're saying is absolutely right, and that has been the problem. Is that in the black community, the people that are the leaders out there, that's supposed to be the leaders, are not standing up and really fighting and really going to the mat. as far as the community, because the first thing, everyday working people, whatever kind of jobs they may have, and a lot of them are not professional jobs. They, just everyday jobs. And, a lot of these people, man, they're just worried about trying to, keep food on the table, keep a roof over their head. So, but what people depend on is leadership. And the point is that, I mean, I can't say it's all leadership, but majority of it is because we have not had adequate leadership.
I'm gonna tell you, Ted, the audacity of these white folks, what they do. All the time that I'm sitting out there in Pembroke helping these folks and stuff, we bringing a whole lot of money, a whole lot of interest, a whole lot of other stuff and everything for them baseball teams or whatever. We bringing money out there for the daggone school system and everything that they have to up their money bringing them out there. So what the white man do? They sent the Republican chairman of Kankakee County. He calls up me and a couple of my friends and say, "I need to talk to you guys. You see what they're doing." Brings us up there to his office and everything. I want you guys to join my organization. You want to be Republicans. We gonna make sure you got enough money in your pocket. He did that. We sat there in front of Ed McBroom. He was a Republican county.
Yeah, I met Ed.
You damn right. Ed Mac sat there with him and everything, and he tried to get us to join the Republican Party. After we saw how strong we got, and we're getting stuff done out there in Pembroke. I'm gonna make you all do what y'all need to do and pay y'all off. Right? We got a fund over here and everything to put money in your pocket. What do you all need? Had to walk. Well, here we get back with you. I walked out there and I told I told my buddies and stuff. I said, "Hey man, one of them was James Taylor. He was with me too, and a couple other guys." I said, "Man, we ain't going for that okey doke." But guess what? They bought James.
Oh yeah.
He came back behind our back and took the money. But
Yep.
that's how we are. We ain't gonna stick together. They're gonna put that money out there and stuff, man, and give it to you, and we just you go take it. Sell out your people.
Well, and I'm glad that you expressed yourself like that because, um, you know, right now we're in a trying times now, and we don't have all the solutions, and we don't have all the answers, and and even maybe even our brain or even at this stage in our life, we can't navigate and figure out because this stuff been going on for decades and decades. So, when I think about it, it it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking, and I don't think about the parents. The parents, okay, they doing their best, whatever they can do, and whatever they know that they're doing their best. What I think about is all of these gifted young people, potential gifted young people that do have aspirations and what have you. That's what I think about. And what a waste. That's what I look at. And, and some people, they got the patience of Job. They got patience, man. And some of them stick it out. And even though they get little, they might get a step ahead here and there. And then they get two steps back and they keep going. I know some people like that. And, you know, God bless them. And I don't have all the answers, but we used to have all these people, And I'm gonna say this, and this is no knock on Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all them, but they was always protesting and fighting for whatever they was fighting for. You know, I don't know. And you had all of these, but I think that we lost. We lost it, bro. We we have lost it, and other races have gained on what we got done because of Martin Luther King and others, and we started losing it really in the late '80s and the '90s and on. So I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I just wanted to bring that up. Now the other thing that I want to talk about,
Go
I
ahead.
want to give somebody their flowers.
Go ahead.
I got to put on my glasses so I can see this. But her name is, and we talked about her a few months ago. Her name is Nicole Hannah Jones.
Oh, yep.
She wrote the 1619
Right. 1619 project.
project.
Hmm.
I heard her speak in the Netherlands, and she was talking about. She explained to people that during the Reconstruction from 1920 to from 1900s to 1920s, basically so many people, Republicans, these people were Republicans. Black folks were senators, Congress people, mayors, all of that during the Reconstruction. And right after that, then they start infiltrating segregation, and that's when you had the Jim Crow laws start kicking in after a certain period of time, and we were moving on up. Then she said that, and when you live through the history, you know what's going on. Then they changed, and then they had did so much damage. You know, when it came to segregation and Jim Crow laws, in 1964, 65, they changed all of the laws and what have you, and opened things up for
Hmm.
black people to go to school. And and I was trying to figure out what exactly is she trying to, okay, knowing the history, understanding what has happened during that time, and then not only here in this country, but in Netherlands, that was one place that a lot of black folks escaped, and they had slavery there too, and they fought and tried to. They went through some of the same things, not as cruel as the United States, and some in Brazil and all these other places. So, what exactly is she's trying to by her bringing all that up? What did they do? They even wrote a book about 1776 to combat her 1619. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly where is she going with this? And she's going. I mean, she's speaking and making noise. She went down to Mississippi and all of that. And one of the things that she expressed on, because her parent generations from Mississippi, sharecropping and all that. And she went down there and she explained how her parents, and then her parents came to, I think it was Chicago. So when you think about it, What is she trying to do, man? I mean,
Well,
we already knew a lot of that history, and some of that history
it,
she
it
just was
is,
more
it is, but
detailed into it. I
she
mean,
was
through the years, I'm talking about when she started writing the 1619. We got more educated about our history. We
right,
started learning about our history as we
right,
became adults.
right,
But
right.
what was she trying to do?
Well, she's trying to educate those folks and stuff now who weren't around then. Don't know your history, you're doomed to fail. So that's all she's doing. She's relating to them a history that they need to know and they need to understand because they are not getting it in the public school system. They're not getting it in the public school system. Even in the school systems that we know that have the best high quality schools and stuff down there, and they're teaching kids all this stuff, not letting them know what Black history is. Sending our kids and stuff to these white schools, well, 95% white, only 5% of people of color going there, and they're not picking up the history. All they're getting what the white folks tell them. And a lot of times, and I saw this happen with my son, sitting there telling him that black people were happy to be slaves. No, damn well that wasn't true. My foreparents were not happy to be slaves because we sang in the fields and everything. We supposed to be happy. These white folks did not understand that there was a method of communication and stuff while they sang in them daggone fields. But
I'm
we
just
have,
saying,
yeah,
I'm trying to
we
figure
have to
out.
tell our youth, we have to tell our youth and everything what's going on. To it. And no, and that's I'm pretty sure that's what she's doing. We just about to get to the end, man. Final word here. We only got a few more minutes, brother. I
Well, I'm
got
gonna
one.
say this. I'm gonna say this. There are 20% of black people that's doing very well.
Mm-hmm. Probably
The
more than that.
other 80% is falling down, bro.
It's probably more
I
than
don't know
20.
what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it because there ain't no such thing as middle class now. I mean, you can call yourself middle class if you want to, but there's no such thing as middle class. If you got a house, more power to you. You got your couple of cars, more power to you. You know, and most people don't have their homes paid for. If you that means if your house you owe 200,000, 300,000 on your house, and you owe 40,000 or 30,000 on your cars. That means you're in debt. You're in debt. That means you owe them money. So you're working for them. And if you miss any payments or whatever, you're gonna lose them. Or something go down and the bank break down or whatever they do, that's the deal. So the point is, all I'm saying is, to me, and I'm gonna get right back to what I was saying. This is my closing word. People have to give back. You have to help your people. We talked about, and this is, and compared to these billionaires and everything, Michael Jordan got pennies, nickels, and dimes. But you said it, $365 million every year. You trying to tell me somebody like him and a few others can invest 10 or $20 million or $100 million and have a foundation and start lining up people to get their homes paid for? Pay that shit off. Everybody that's got a home worth $200,000, $300,000, pay that shit off. So they have their home paid off. They can get their kids a good education.
All right. I have a novel idea for you governors in California and Oregon and Illinois and Maryland and New York. all you governors and stuff who's sitting out there in sports, it's, it's, it's always good to have a hell of an offense. Damn the defense. But you can have a good defense, but you need a hell of an offense too. I'm talking to you governors over there. Stop playing defense with this man. Get on the offense. What if you guys in California, Illinois, New York, Oregon decided I'm going to bring my National Guard here in the state of California, in the state of Oregon, in the state of Illinois to protect my citizens against the federal government?
Woo!
Talk to you guys later.